Hey everyone, it's Val the Voice Johnson. My goodness, we are halfway through the year. Can you believe it? It is a couple of days away from Juneteenth, and I am excited about what is going on. We have been celebrating Black Music Month all month long. And of course, Coach Tony and I, we've been hyped and excited. I'll tell a little bit about the story of him getting his music situation going regarding his song. But the good thing about the genre of hip hop is that it has brought us some great artists. And some of the artists I'll mention, and some of the artists are actually friends of ours, relatives of ours, people that love hip hop. A lot of music, a lot of that music got me through some tough times. And when I say tough times, I'm talking like I felt like knocking somebody out. I don't know about you, but that's how I felt. But of course, we have a few people here that's going to give us a little journey of doing music, especially in the hip hop lane. And then on top of everything, we'll have the coach come on through because, you know, he's got this show that comes on Mondays called the Pullup Podcast show. Well, you know, that's got a wonderful flair, and the producers and I want to call it the artists behind that song is here tonight to help us celebrate Black Music Month and hip hop. It's Interlude Section presents Talk on Tuesdays, and we're getting started right about now. It's Interlude Section presents Talk on Tuesdays. It is me, your girl Val the Voice, and Coach Tony. And of course, we are excited that you're here joining us for another edition of that. And of course, the book, A DJ Saved My Life. DJs are always important, especially when it comes to producing good music. And oh my goodness, for myself, I have been a DJ for definitely throughout the pandemic, but definitely now. But this is my book, and it is in print form. I am so excited about that. If you want more information about A DJ Save My Life, please visit the store at purelighthousemedia.com. And then of course, I changed the QR code, so I got to take that down or whatever. But of course, go to purelighthousemedia.com if you want more information about getting your signed copy of the book. I'm excited that it's here. And then of course, patreon.com/interludes. There's a lot of our background that happens. My conversations that I have with the guests, but after the show, yeah, that happens on patreon.com/interludes. And of course, I do a lot of things. There is the Purple Robe Diaries. And then, of course, some of the things that I share regarding podcasting and how you can get started. And then some of the behind the scenes with some of the podcasts that I have done. So guys, check us out. And you can sign up for free. You don't have to pay anything. Just come see the fun. And some of my comedy routines. Yes, I do stand up. I crack jokes all the time. Earlier this month, we kicked things off, I believe, with house music. And then last week, we did R&B. So that's Coach Tony, and he'll be here. Probably told me he'll be here in about 10 minutes. But if you guys, for Coach Tony, he has an IG. I'm running it for him, and I'm so grateful that you guys are following him. I think I'm saying hello to everyone over on IG, but Coach, just scan the QR code and you can start following him on IG. That's right. For more information about the Pure Pullup Podcast show, and then of course his posts, which technically is me, just go ahead and scan that QR code. I don't know what is happening with my mic stand. She is being real moody right now. We just gone. We gonna work it out. We gonna work it out. She okay, there we go. Just I have no idea what's going on with her. All right. Oh my goodness. So anyway, last week we did rhythm and blues. So we're celebrating Black Music Month all this month of June. And of course, what we're going to be celebrating talking about today is hip hop. And of course, I got so many of my favorite artists that I like and love. But of course, if people get started with hip hop, who would you think of? Who's some of your favorite artists? Now, if I am to talk about anyone currently who has made an extreme hip hop, who has made an impact in hip hop and beyond, the first rapper to ever win a, a Pulitzer Prize for the album Damn, that's Kendrick Lamar. Good gracious. His song, All Right, got me through the pandemic. I'm just going to say that. And, you know, they not like us. Come on now. So you can't have an intelligent conversation about good, great hip hop without including this gentleman. And of course, and I, Coach has his favorites. But that's just some of mine. Back in the day, my favorite was A Tribe Called Quest, sampling some of the best blues and jazz. Oh my gosh. The Low End Theory was on repeat when I was in college. So I'm telling my age because they're a little bit older than Kendrick. but it's all good. And then of course from the Shy, I have to mention Common. I have to mention him. I have to mention him, of course. I'm one of the few rap artists that have won an Oscar. The song is for Glory, and I think that was from the movie Selma. And so he's one of my favorites. And of course, I could get into the women. I was trying to grab the pictures, but if I was going to get into the women, I would definitely mention Doechii. She just won Best Female Hip Hop Artist at the Grammys as well as the BET Awards. And then also, if I was to mention some of my other favorite women artists, that would be MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, Left Eye, rest in peace. Just a lot of folks. There's too many people to mention. But of course, I wanted to bring on some of the folks that helped produce this track. Now, if I'm going to say this track, you know what I'm getting ready to do, right? And I see Mark is in the audience. Oh, Mike Stand was being special. Yes, it is still being special. I'm trying to hold it or whatever. So I'm going to circle back to some of my favorite hip hop artists in a minute. But when I had a conversation with Coach, I said, Coach, I'm going to need you to come up with a song or some kind of track for your sports show. And he says, well, I'm going to talk to my nephew and we're going to get something going. I was like, okay, so what you going to come up with? He said, well, I'm going to come up with the lyrics and then I'm going to do my thing. I was like, okay, well then you do your thing and then let's see what you got. So this is what was come up with, and I will play a little bit of the shorter version. This is our opening for the Pullup Podcast show. Here we go.
It's the Pullup Podcast. It's the Pullup Podcast. It's the Pullup Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pullup Podcast. It's the Pullup Podcast. It's the Pullup Podcast. Pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pullup Podcast. So I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pullup Podcast. So it's the Pullup Podcast. It's the Pullup Podcast.
Wow, that is a hot track, right, Coach Tony? Isn't that a hot track?
Keep me bouncing.
I'm telling you. So, Coach, I would love for you to introduce who's here, and definitely your your nephew and one of the producers of the track for the Pullup Podcast show as we celebrate hip hop being a part of Black Music Month. I'm going to let you have the honor of introducing our guests.
Well, first of all, they very close to me. And Val, you know, we got the Chicago ties and all that. And deep into the music side of the house, I want to bring out my nephew. He's doing some big, incredible things. I'm proud of him, where he's going. Bring out Demetrius, young Pharaoh Jarman, to the stage.
Hey.
What's good, boy? I see you. And they got my man Tizone. You know, hey, I'm already, hey, Tiz, we got to get on this track. I keep telling Val, man, I got this track called My Man's in There, man. So we put it together. I got some things. So I already told Dimitri about it. I need to get that old school 80 house track. You already know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I got you on that. Yeah, we're going to knock that out.
Yes, welcome to the show, fellas. I appreciate you guys pulling up on us tonight a little bit, man. It's awesome. And, you know, I apologize, man. We balanced, just like you guys, we balanced some storms down here. I think Ken P right now is out of power, right, Dimitri?
He said he was doing something. He was trying to finish up a session. I know I lost power over here in Georgia, over here in the Palmetto area. I did speak to him before I got onto the podcast with y'all, and he said it'll probably be maybe like 10, 15 minutes, and he'll log in too. Okay,
that's good. And Val, we flooded here in Nashville in some spots, so I get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
It's pretty bad in my area too.
Oh, your area too, Tiz?
Yep.
Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Well, man, let's jump into this for a minute, 2 feet, man. You know, I just kind of want to know, somebody turn their volume down to 1. I got here some echo coming back. I don't know who it is. But, you know, I want to jump in with you guys, man, real quick and just kind of tell the audience a little bit about the team. You know, how you guys connected and hooked up. And, you know, this is Black Music Month, man. So we want to put the things you guys are doing out there and just talk a little bit about what you guys are doing right now as artists, as a producer, you know, on everything, and kind of just, you know, give everybody the lay of the land real quick.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let Tiz go ahead and talk about himself because he is the new guest on the show. I've been here before, so I'm gonna let him do the honor.
Hey, Tiz, he's trying to treat you like a rookie, man. He's trying to treat you like a rookie.
I know he ain't no rookie, but he the first time on the show, so I want to give him the honors.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, just a little bit about me. I've been in the game for about 30 years now, and I've worked with artists such as Keith Sweat, Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Hudson, DJ for Common. Did a few tours back in the days. So I've been around hip hop for a really long time. You know, I work with Twista as well. I know Coach Tony knows who Twista is.
Hey, come on, man. hey, Twista, Johnny P, they used to kick it with us back on the yard. When Twista came out with his first album, his cousin, was Devin Smith. Rest his heart, bless his heart today, no longer with us. Man, to come up on the yard, man. We had Twista's first album before it dropped, and your boy, Hey, in the middle of the barn. We had the boys on there with Johnny P, Cadillac, man, CATI, AC blowing, and we had, man, them boys used to kick it with us hard, man, at the school, man.
Do you want to ride?
Do you want to ride in the backseat of the caddy? Drop it down like do or die. Come on, man.
Them all my guys.
Hey, man. And by the way, I told Val you got that Chicago connection too, man. Let them know what's up. What side of the city?
I'm on the south side.
There it is.
Chicago. That's where I was raised.
Come on, Val. Come on, Val. Hey, Tim. You see what I'm wearing tonight?
Uh-oh.
We did house, Coach. We did house music first week. We're on hip hop.
Hey, I don't care. I do house every day. Every day I do house.
Oh my gosh. Okay. He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn. It's all good. But you know what? Here's my question to you both, because I was really, when Coach came to me with the song, it sounded so, when I say professional, like it's something where we get hyped every time we hear it. Coach mentions it, and it mentions me, Val's the voice, and Coach Tony, and I'm like, Okay, for sure, for sure. And what cracks me up is when I'm promoting it and it says, "What's the caption?" And they get the captions always gets it wrong. It's so hilarious.
Yeah.
So I want to know. So you got the lyrics from Coach, but
Yeah.
then what was that session looking like to either sit down and go, okay, I'm gonna rap it like this, or I'm gonna say it like that? What came first, the chicken or the egg, the beat or the shape or the cadence? What came first?
Let me jump in here real quick, Val.
Yeah.
So I set everything up.
Yeah.
I
I
reached
know
out.
that.
No, hold on. I reached out to
Okay.
Dimitri and Tiz and Kenny P. And Dimitri was like, I need to know how you trying to figure out how you want the song. So we had many beats. Tiz got 1,000 beats, million beats. And I'm just trying to figure things out. So I just started writing the lyrics. And then I started to think about what each one of us does, Val, what you do, right? What I'm doing on the show. And I'm like, okay. Then I started to drop it, and I just gave it to Demetri and told these guys, master mix to do what you got to do. And they came back with a mega hit.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
indeed.
That's kind of what we do out here.
Yeah. My approach to it was basically recorded and making sure the quality is there. So it sounds like a record. It
Yeah.
has that feeling to it. So I was just making sure that the vocal is clear, because that's going to be the main thing that stands out, the message with the lyrics. So that has to stand out more than anything. So I was like, we got to make sure that the vocal is on top of the beat and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming from my behalf, this was my first time doing a song like that, and I'm usually the type of person I go into the studio and I kill things on the first take. But
Ooh.
this right here was a different experience. It was a different sound. So I definitely had to get a lot of different opinions from T's behalf. And yeah, you see what we came with.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Tiz, pounds only all time. I gotta get an instrumental on that too as well. I gotta get a full instrumental so we can drop it on some reels. We can drop it on some short takes and stuff like that. I got people bouncing. Of course, I'm back in the booth DJing, so I'm dropping my own track. When we go do parties, I'm dropping my own track. They like, dog, what's that?
Oh
That's
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I come from the DJ background. I started
I
out
already
on
know.
that.
You
Man,
already
I
know.
love that.
I
That's why I
already
wanted to
know.
get him
They
on
look.
here.
Hey, they look. Hey, Tiz. I gave Val this morning. A poll go out to the club tonight and get your drink on. I gave him some Byron Stinging this morning and
Oh,
had a while
classic.
out, man.
Yeah, and
That's a
and here's the
legend.
thing. And here's the thing, Coach. You cracked me up with that. The audience, Tizone and Farah.
Yeah.
We don't go to the club and drink like that no more. We saved and sanctified. We don't, because when I was hearing the lyrics, I was like, he must have forgot who the audience is. It's all good though. And one of my
Right.
friends told me, he was like, that had a good beat to it. I was like, yeah, but I'm always thinking message. I'm always thinking message. And thinking about hip hop, which artists would you all consider had the best message? Like when you listen to their music, it inspires you to either create or to do what you do. I'm curious. Let's go to Zone first. Who's one of your favorite artists that you love that inspires you?
Well, I'm old school with it. My favorite artist back, then was like Grand Puba, Brand Nubians,
There you go.
and I
Wow.
love Poor Righteous Teacher and
Okay.
X Clan.
PRT.
Yeah, PRT. Rock This Funky Joint is one of my favorite
Rock this
songs.
funky joint. Dum,
Yeah,
dum,
that's
dum,
that's
dum,
classic.
dum. That's
It
classic.
had the feel. It sounded good, and then the lyrics. Once you start paying attention to the lyrics, he's dropping knowledge. That's
Yes.
what I love about PRT and
Yeah.
Brand Nubians. Grand Puba speaks for itself. Which he got a new album out right now.
Man, I noticed a lot of the old guys are coming out in concert. I'm loving the old guys are back out in the yard, man, putting in concerts, putting in work. I was in Nashville. I didn't even tell you, Val. I went to see Scarface last year. Came to Nashville, man. He set it off, man, with a band and one DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, the old
Oh,
school
really?
artists, they the ones that still have the music that's standing the test of time.
Yep.
It's just good music. Like a
But you
lot
know
of the
why,
stuff
Ted?
today, it's just going so fast.
Oh man, it's crazy. And you know why I think that is? It's because the guys back in the day, they dug in the crates. And when they was making that music, when I was in school, they was stealing from the late 70s and the early 80s, those R&B groups. And
Okay.
those beats was banging and all
Hmm.
that. Now, Dimitri, you're a little bit on
Yeah.
the different side of the house, and you kind of came in with a couple of newer artists. So what artists
Yeah.
kind of made you want to really lock in and do this?
Okay, so the younger me, I started off with of course Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Okay.
Deuce Comrades, the Dirty Boys, and then as I got older, I always got to refer back to Don Tripp. I got to refer back to Starlito All Star. Shout out to them
Nashville.
guys because the younger me, quote unquote, wanted to run the streets, and then I ran into them out there in Memphis doing the show, and I seen how they move. They like an army every time they come in with grind hard, and I was like, yeah, that's the direction I wanted to go. And then over time, as the scenes began to change with the music and things like that, I kind of got directed towards the West Coast. And you always tell me your music sounds like West Coast music.
I told you that. And that's
Well,
got to be probably
that
thanks to Ted, Val. This boy dropping Ted. You got this boy living on the West Coast in Alabama, man, in Georgia. I'm
yeah,
like, wait a minute, hold
yeah.
on, man. You
So
got some
so
Warren B type, the Warren G type stuff,
yeah,
and I'm laughing because I'm old school, and me and Val talked about this 100 times. I'm all
yeah,
Nas. I'm Nas Illmatic. It's got to be the best album. But if I got to stay at the crib, I got to go with Twister, man. That Tongue Twister album, that first one he dropped was
yeah.
ridiculous. I know Johnny Peter had it, but that first album, I think if I remember correctly, Val, Twister also won on Ripley's Believe It or Not, being the
Yeah.
first person to say the alphabet in like 5 seconds.
Yep. I remember that. And and,
Yeah,
and,
Wow.
he
and the
broke
Guinness
he
World
in the
Records.
Guinness Book of
Yeah,
World
Yeah,
Guinness Book
Records.
of World Records, yes.
it is. Yep.
Saying
Hmm.
the alphabet in 5 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, and the most syllables.
Most
Hey,
super,
at one point in time, they had me trying to do some double time.
man.
Yeah,
He,
Twister
he
was
used
like
to he
triple,
used to woo,
quadruple time.
flip them up,
Yeah.
and Tiz, I'm gonna go back because me, you, and Val from the city. So I was riding guys. I came through. We would drop Mendel a lot, go party at Mendel, then go down to the warehouse and do things. But when the candy store popped up and Farley jumped on the set with Steve Hurley and them on 23rd in Michigan, it was a wrap. That's where everybody ended up being. And
Oh
then
yeah.
all of a sudden, the hip hop came in, and when
Yep.
Twisted them did their thing, man, and then your boys, man, were hey in the middle of the bar,
I remember
smoking
them.
on. That
Yeah,
set it up.
Crucial Conflict had it on lock.
Social conflict. I'm having on lock.
They still play that here in Atlanta. They still play here in
They
Atlanta.
do?
That's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yep.
That's a classic, Val.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
classic.
That's a
And
classic.
and then the question I got for you, Tizon, is that's the case. Kind of it's an extended question of what Val just asked. Going back to some of the artists that you work with, because
Yeah.
we already have an understanding that we understand that New York had it, right? As BDP told y'all, it started in New York. Then the West Coast kind of gravitated. Of course, Common was in my class the year before me and doing some things. We would all hang out, kick it while they were trying to only come up. R. Kelly and Joe, and they was coming up. What artists, as you were getting started, what hip hop artists in Chicago that you kind of had an opportunity to work with that you thought, hey man, this person's got that it and they could possibly make it?
Actually, Twister was that artist.
Okay.
Yeah, Twister was that artist that I was actually, linked to early on, through my mentor. Because the album that you're talking about, that first album, majority of that album was produced by one of the guys that taught me. So
Okay.
I was around Twister, before he even got the first record deal, when he was calling himself Cavalier before he was
Yeah,
the Tongue
Cavalier,
Twister.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he was Cavalier. So that's how we know him, And once he started, and I saw that he got his deal, I said, you know what, I could do this. I
Okay.
could really, really get into this. And then seeing Common and Black AG and a
Like
couple other,
AG,
yeah, that's my cousin. Yeah.
man.
So I saw all of them, and I was like, okay, I gotta just go head first into this. This is what I want to do. I'm not even setting up a plan B. This is it. Ain't no plan B for me. Plan B is to make sure plan A works.
There you go. There
Sometimes
you
it's the
go.
best way to be.
Yep. So
That's exactly how I came
that's
here to
what
Atlanta.
inspired me. Yeah.
I remember Val. I should have sent you, Val, the early video that we all did together, and Tiz would put it together. We spent an entire. I got a chance to spend a whole day with my nephew and Val to put together the shopping spree back in the day. And Val, you may have to go to YouTube and pull that up. By Young Farrer, the shopping spree, SHOPPIN spree, SPREE, and it's hilarious. Because I had a great day, man, just to watch you guys behind the scene. Val, we went down into the Huntsville, rented a house out from somebody, just rented a house out and just did the Thug Thizzle. Video was off the charts. I still bump that to this very day, man.
Yeah. Actually, it still comes on the radio as well. It's actually
Really?
doing pretty all right. It's doing pretty all right on Tidal and Apple and stuff like that. But I know I got to get busy on doing some more visuals, music-wise. But lately, I've been so tied up with doing the acting thing. It's like it's kind of hard to do the acting, the voice acting, and then do music all at the same time. And still got a parent of 5-year-old, so I got to pick and choose my battles from time to time.
What you think about that, Val?
I think that, I don't know, when you become a parent, things change. Things just change. It's not the same thing anymore. So I am seeing some things of you on Young Farrer performs My Swag. Is that the song, or is it another song?
No. Shopping
You
spree.
were looking for the song Shopping Spree for the video.
Yeah, shopping spree is the song. Just like I said, shopping spree.
Yeah.
Shopping spree. Okay.
And you know what? I actually reshared that video for Father's Day because my dad was in the video.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dad was in the video?
Oh,
yeah.
I was in the video. I was in the video. My uncle was in the video. Hey, my brother, it was a family thing. It was so dope. I'm telling you, Val, there you go. Right there. There you go.
Okay, well, a quick question. Where are you at? Where are you at, Demetrius?
That's
right there. That's him right there. Right there. That's him right there, Val.
Okay. All right.
Let me
bring some value to this. Let's do this real quick.
I used to have that long perm back in the day. Past the
you was getting your Pimp C on.
That's my uncle.
That's daddy right there. That's my dad.
Oh, that's your dad?
Yeah,
that's my brother.
If you want it, and
if you need it, gotta have it.
That's Tony right there. That's BPC.
That's Val. That's gonna be right there in the background, Val. Right there.
Yeah, you coming up on the second verse.
Right there, right there to the right. With my Argyle on.
I'm gonna have to upload this video for TikTok.
Yes, sir. Here you come, Val.
See, I'll take you where you wanna go to get you what you wanna get. Money ain't the issue, baby. Go get what you wanna get. You can be like me and rock the cooch. I know you like the Louis, but you look better in the Gucci. So pick a spot, girl, where you wanna go first. You can get the shoes, clothes, coat, and the coach first. Pull it off the wall. Yeah, off the Tag, take it to the clerk, tell her put it
Throw it in the bag.
Do you like that? Take a special bill. Do you like that? I wanna take you out on a shopping spree. I know you got your own, but today is so me.
There I go right there, Val.
Who's the guy doing the vocals for you?
There go, there, look, Val, there your boy go, Val.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Oh, I see you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Oh, with the blue on. That's you.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am,
Definitely have
Val.
a ball right there.
Who was doing the vocals, Dimitri?
That's Antonio Woodruff. He go by the name of DPC, the Promised Child. And we actually got a new pop song that we getting ready to release. It's called The Weekend. So yeah, we're gonna get with Tiz and try to get a music video shot before the end of the summer.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, getting a little crazy.
And Val, to let you know, Dimitri left out. We had one of the people in the video. I think she just came off. Remember when BET had the Battle of the Dancers? She won like one of the Battle of the Dancers.
Yeah, it was actually that music group that was gonna come up at the end of the video, which was dancing in the Acrobatic Swag song that we had.
That's what Acrobatic Swag, yes.
Yeah, so they actually won a couple of the 106 and Park dance-off challenges. Yep.
Jay talking about my boy Jay. That we know what we talking about. Jay, what you talking about? We keep it real, or we keep it 100 up in here.
Yep.
Hey, he's from the D. Hey, Tiz, he's from the D. You know how the D be on the side, man. You know how the D be on the side, man.
Yeah,
So,
I know I got some good stuff coming up with Tiz too.
He's from Brooklyn, so if he's saying that the music is lit, he likes it. The shopping spree.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Now,
Shopping spree. Get up in there, Springer. Go out to YouTube, and it's an old cut, and you can put it with anything today, and it'll stand up.
yeah, that was actually one of the songs that actually brought us to Atlanta on our first distribution deal. That deal really went sideways, but we was actually looking to do some big things with that. You know, life happens. You know what I'm saying? But
And you know
Still
what?
a hit though.
Let's get into that, because that has been I want to talk about that, where you want to get a lot of people are attracted to getting into the music industry.
Yeah.
And what I'm finding out is that either people don't own their masters. If they try to fight for their masters, something weird happens.
Yep.
If you are someone who there's a lot of other dark things that are happening, and I'm just thinking, but this is music. This is something that brings so much joy or fun or whatever to the masses. But why does it have to get dark in the back? And here's the thing: for that music deal to go sideways, for you, Farrah, what was kind of that? I really wanted this to work, because how long did it take you all to shoot that video and then to get that, to say, okay, this is going to happen, and you're waiting and then it doesn't happen. How were you feeling after all of that?
Well, we was on that set for about 12 hours, honestly. I know we got there at like 5 in the morning for me. And then I know Uncle Tony came from Nashville, so he came a little bit later, but we got on this set at like 5, and then we shot until about like 5 p.m. But then once we started doing like extra cuts and stuff like that, we ended up going past 1 o'clock in the morning. So it like started at 5 a.m. and we didn't leave it set to like 1 a.m. in the morning. Yeah,
I know, Val. I was on the road.
Yeah.
Coming back to Nashville about 2:30 in the morning. After leaving at 5:30 the other morning and getting back at 5:30 the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you sacrificed all those hours to get this video shot. You get it to the people to get the deal, and then what happens? Like you said, it went sideways. Like, go into a little bit more detail about what happened or what went wrong.
So I can speak on that. One part of it was the management side. We was real young. Me particularly, I was really young, and I had another manager at the time who thought he knew the industry, but when it came down to it, he really didn't know it. And his take, once the money started coming in and we started getting around the women and things like that, he kind of got sidetracked and wanted to
Yep.
focus on the women versus on my career, my bookings, dealing
Right.
with the A&Rs and the artist development people and things like that. And another thing had actually stepped off, had popped off. I won a music competition because they
Yep.
was trying to put a group together, kind of like what Diddy did with making the band. And so I had won down there in Decatur, Alabama. And then they was trying to get some people from, I think, Texas. They got me from Alabama. I know they was getting somebody from Georgia. And then there was like 2 other people. But once we came here to Atlanta to actually sit down with the label, things just didn't work out right with the person that was actually managing me at the time. Because like I said, he was more interested with trying to have relations with the women versus doing business. And that's how I got my Uncle Tony involved, because I needed him to step in because I know he was more professional. So we got the other manager out the way. And then I want to say shout out to Anita Brown as well, because
Yep.
she was the one who discovered the contract and realized how bad it was. Because I mean,
Yep.
like me dealing with this stuff, I was like probably like 13, 14 years old. So growing up back then, it was like early 2000s. So it was a lot of stuff that was going on that was way beyond me at the time. I just thought we made
Yep.
music, have fun, travel, do the meet and greets, and go from there. But
Yep.
them dealing with that manager, it didn't go like that. And then once we actually sat down in front of one of the labels, one of the big labels, here in Georgia, and everybody came together, that just didn't work out for me at the time. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
to
crazy
sound
part
like
about it, Val,
yeah.
I would say the crazy part about it, Val, is that, as we jumped into it, and you don't know, but you watching the series right now. Let's just say BMF is a part of that piece that we talking about. We talking about real true life on the BMF side of the house, and Tiz to drop in and do everything, and to get these beats and stuff like that. I was more amazed because I was really in awe of what these young brothers was doing. I was really in awe that Tiz had all these beats, the Ken P had these beats, and what these young guys was doing. And I was really impressed by what my nephew was out there doing. Went out to several shows, watched him kill it and do some things. And then when I got brought in on the management side, I said, hold on, wait a minute. Something ain't adding up. It's like, the math ain't mathing, as they used to say.
Yeah.
And then we started going through that piece. But I truly think that the way that Tiz has got things set up right now and the way that things are rolling, and Dimitri of Young Pharaoh with his growth, if that track was a track today, which I keep telling them to re-release it in a remix, then that track would take off hot. Because for whatever reason, even though he had Alabama ties and Tiz comes from the side doing everything we're doing, I think he got a West Coast swag. That's what's so funny about everything. And of course, my boy who moved out to Cali and did everything with Nate Dogg back in the day. So everything was like, wow. I'm like, hold on for a minute. And I said, man, you got to keep on doing this, but we just got to get around the right crowd and the right piece. And then he started doing these battle raps, Val, and started winning and doing some things. And now, album after album, started clicking, come, and man, now we down the road.
And then I want to speak on that real quick. That's kind of how that's one reason why I wanted to get Ken on here, and that's one reason why I brought Tiz on here. And the other reason I was trying to get my talent agent on here, because I kind of wanted to break down my journey from like the beginning, the middle, and where I am currently. And Ken, I grew up with Ken, so he kind of polished me up coming from the diamond in the dirt stage, right? So when I was down there in Alabama, back when I first got started making music, I couldn't stay on beat for anything. Song was just basically all curse words. Ken was like, "No, you got to change that. That's not how you gonna that's not how you gonna further yourself in the game." But I listened to Ken. I listened to I think her name was Diamond, but she told me to study DJ Quick, and DJ Quick is where I think I got my West Coast sound from, and it's just stuck with me. And then I moved here in Georgia 2013, and then I was dealing with another artist named Martez, I do believe at the time, and he introduced me to Tiz. And ever since 2013, me and Tiz been knocking song after song out. And that's just been a blessing, because Tiz has a lot of the let me see. He's got all the knowledge. He's got the experience, and he's got the plaques and everything. So he's been around the world doing a lot of big things, and I want to say shout out to him. And like I said, I want to get Ken on here too, because Ken he's done a lot of big things with Six Trey G and a lot of big people, Jagged Edge and whatnot. So I want to give him his flowers as well, but he ain't able to jump on right now. And then I wanted Belinda to be here so she could talk about this film that I just booked a role for. And she has all the information about what all streaming platforms it'll be on. She was going to talk about some of the major distribution that's going to be behind the film. But, since she's not here, we just stuck with the music side right now.
Right, that's
fine. And Coach, wait, let me jump in here, Coach. Let me jump in here because I wanted to hear from Tizone, but just kind of that, just kind of that. I'm grateful that you had Coach in your corner to kind of protect you from some of the weirdness that was happening, and then to kind of go, there's something wrong with the math and stuff like that, which we definitely need that. But I want to hear from you, Tizone, from producing. Like, what's some of the advice you give to young performers or people that want to get into this industry, especially on the hip hop side of things, and they come to you as a producer, if they come to you as an artist, like, I'm trying to get this deal. What are some of the advice that you would probably give someone that's trying to get into the music industry, especially on the hip hop side of things?
Well, the first thing I tell an artist, producer, or anybody trying to get into the music industry is learn the business. It's more than just music. It's 90% business, 10% music. And the reason why a lot of artists are struggling because they don't even understand what's publishing, how the point system goes, how you should get paid, and what does recoupment mean. So, a label will say, well, we gave you $1 million budget. So artists don't realize that they don't get paid until that $1 million is made back, So now you getting on the next dollar after $1 million. That's what you're splitting.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's the music business. Most people just go in and just think it's just all music. And signing over, you got some artists are signing over their publishing for $1. Because they can't read the contract. They have no idea what's going on inside of this 52-page contract, because they only want to see that one page that says this is the advancement that you're getting.
Correct.
So they sign in that one page, and most artists, that's probably about the only money that they're going to ever receive out of their record deal. And they're tied into these deals for 7 albums, 10 albums, and it's impossible to get out of them.
Yep.
You can't fulfill the options.
I was almost down that path.
Yeah. And who I think about on that Tizone is like Val is like somebody like a Tony Braxton who didn't realize that, and Babyface had taken it. And during this time, Val, when me and my nephew came together, I got the legal background, and whatnot. And when he came to me, man, my legal hat just put on from just being in law school for a moment. I said, wait a minute, hold on, something's not adding up. And then when I got a chance to talk to Tiz and talk to Ken P and what they were doing and the deals he was doing, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not all about these parties. Where is your money going to be at? Because at the time he was kind of get on, and he just told you, Val, he's at the time to high school.
Right.
He's in high school. And he's trying to do some big things in the music industry. That thing is busting through the seams right now, right? Dirty South had just came on. Right now, T.I., Jeezy, everybody's doing Goody Mob, and everybody's coming through Atlanta. BMF is still in the thick of things right now, and they just come on the downside, and he's coming on the upside. So I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. How are we going to be able to put things down? So, Ken, I want to ask you too as well, Tiz. When you got an opportunity that Farrah walked through the door, you had already worked with Twista, you had already worked with some big artists and everything like that. What was the one thing that impressed you about him that made you really want to work with him and say, hey, something, I can help this young guy out?
One, I like his work ethic, and the consistency. You know, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. So you can have all the talent in the
Say
world,
that
but
again.
Yeah.
man, if you don't want to put in that work, it's down the drain. It's not gonna happen for you. So
I
I
agree.
like his consistency. Of course, he got the talent. He can rhyme. I like his concepts, but it's like what's more impressive is the fact that he don't quit. He gonna keep going and going and going, even when we in the studio recording. And it's like I hear something like, okay, I think that could be, better. Say this line a little bit like this, or we need a little bit more energy. It's like, okay, run it back. And we
Yeah.
just go at it. A lot of artists think, oh no, this I like it like this. And I said, well, I can fix it on an ad lib. No, you got to get the first part right. So
Yeah.
that you don't
Okay.
stack mess on top of mess. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's how I don't stack
That sounds
mess
like
on
Val
top of
talking to
mess.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that
So let's get
professionalism
the
right there
first
coming
part
out.
right before we go into the next part. Because I'm a perfectionist. I don't care how many times you got to do that line over and over and over. We're gonna sit here until we get it right. Because I
Yeah.
want it right.
Man,
You
that is
know.
that's just dope. That kind of goes back into watching the movie when Dr. Dre told Eazy when he finally got, woke up soon at about noon, he's all right, that's the first verse. We got 58 more to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Dre is my favorite producer. I modeled a lot of, what I do after Dr. Dre. That's why you hear that West Coast sound.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, a lot of those, the beats is just my natural influence from Dre and DJ Quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Those are my favorite producers.
And Val, I'm talking about every single time, and Farrell will tell you, every single time he say, hey man, look, I got a track for you here. What's the first response I tell you? Man, that's West Coast vibe.
Now,
I
wait,
don't
let's
never
go.
say ATL, Chi-Town, New York. I said, man, they
Yeah.
got that laid back. I'm telling him all the time, Val, we got to figure out how to get Snoop, Warren G,
Yeah.
one of them, Dub C, Q. I'm like, we got to figure out how to get one of them on the hook. Because this
Well,
is straight up riding in California, looking at the Pacific Ocean type of vibe. And
hey,
they'll never know you come down south.
we was trying to get Nipsey Hussle on one before he passed.
Yeah, try to get Nipsey on one, Val.
Yeah.
Wow. And now,
Congrats to the Unc on that because he was pulling the strings behind that one. So shout out to Unc.
Yeah, I was out hitting up some people on that one, trying to make stuff happen. And we got to the point where we had a contact and trying to make everything happen. Tears on top of the beats and all that. And Farrah had one called cell phone. It's way before wasn't ever did check out my cell phone. We already had a cell phone clip.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy times, crazy times.
oh my
Hey,
gosh. But go ahead. Go ahead.
That also brings up the reason why I decided to go back and start working on this album called Mindset 2, The Redemption, because I know I had a lot of good music from my early days of when I first started that I never did release. And then I actually came across a couple of those old CDs and started listening to them again. And I was like, man, this is actually some pretty good music. I should put this out. So that's why I'm working on the next album called Mindset 2, The Redemption. So that's the project that me and Tiz is going to continue to work on. And me and Kim P going to continue to work on. And then I got to say Beat Champ, because I work with him too. So, so maybe on the next interview, I can get him involved with that too. Because the main thing I want to do is continue to bring the people that I work with, the people that are really important to my life and my career. I want to put them, front and center with all of y'all so y'all can meet them. And, we can continue to come with the movies, continue to come with the music, continue to come with the voice acting. Whatever I can do, whatever God, can use me for. That's what I'm here for. So.
Tiz, put that compilation together, Tiz. Tiz, put that
Yeah,
compilation together.
that's what it
So
sounds like that needs to happen.
Yes.
yeah. Let me jump in here, fellas, for a second. So you guys mentioned Nipsey.
Yeah.
One of my favorite artists or rap artists that isn't around anymore is Tupac, and then of course Nipsey. So if you were to think about that artist that's no longer around in hip hop that influenced you or you like their voice, who would that be? That's the question on the floor to all of you.
Okay, so started with me. I gotta say, R.I.P. to my cousin Kurt Farrell, because like a lot of the music, the way that actually kind of got started with the music was through my cousin Kurt Farrell. So I gotta say R.I.P. to him. And then after that, I'm saying I would say somebody like Nip, because I get a lot of knowledge from him, and digging through his old projects. Like, yeah, Nip was really that stuff. Yeah.
Tizone, how about you?
Mac Dre was hot too back in the day. I gotta
Oh
say
yeah,
something
man,
about
very
Mac.
well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tizone.
For me, I would have to go with Biggie. Biggie is somebody that I met earlier on in
Yeah.
my
You
career.
met him?
Yeah. Got a lot of
Wow.
pictures with him too. The whole Bad Boy crew. Craig
Man,
Mack.
Craig Mack,
Yeah.
the Big Mac
Craig
album,
Mack, Carl
right? The Big
Thomas.
Mac album, Big
Yeah.
on one side, Mac on the
Wait,
other.
wait,
Mm-hmm.
wait. We gotta do a pause here. Tizone, are you hurt? Because I used to love any and all things Bad Boy. I used to love anything that came out of that whole camp. And I feel like everything is cracked straight down the middle because of what's happening right now. I would love to get your thoughts on it since you met folks. Oh my
I
gosh,
think
Carl Thomas. I was crazy about that album. Go ahead.
yeah, the whole Bad Boy. Um the artist Sherry Dennis, I actually developed her, and she went on to sign to
Yep,
Bad Boy. Yeah, I
Mm,
developed her. I think like we have to separate the music from the personal situations that all the stuff that's going on with Diddy, because
Yeah.
I think like it's tarnishing
right.
everybody else's legacy.
Yep,
So we have to keep that in mind that you know okay, that's him in his personal situations, but the music, you can't deny that Bad Boy had the
right.
whole music industry in the chokehold in the
Yep,
90s.
Yeah.
yep,
you know they really had it on lock, and the music, it's gonna stand the test of time.
yep.
It's gonna live on. And hopefully the situations play out the way it's supposed to, and everybody, all this stuff settles, whatever is going on. But I think, I just try to focus on the music,
Yeah.
because the Bad Boy era was just epic to me,
it
Right,
and
was
I
right.
for
learned a
me.
lot from, the
Yeah.
Bad Boy era, you
Man,
know,
that's
Yeah.
great.
how to
And
make the
Val,
records, and I saw the rise of Flavor in Your Ear and
ooh,
Juicy, because
here
I
comes the
was right there. I
flavor
seen
in
it.
your ear.
Yeah, I seen it when the first Bad Boy tour, when nobody knew Craig Mack or Biggie.
Correct. And they didn't want Craig Mack to pop up. You already know that, Tiz. Craig was supposed to be in the background because Diddy really didn't like him until Biggie and Craig came together, and Biggie told him, hey, listen, I need Craig on this album. On one side it's gonna be Biggie, on the other side it's Craig Mack. It's gonna be the Big Mac.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the promo once they came to Chicago, and he had the Big Mac case,
Oh,
and
Yes,
opened up the case, and it had
open the case up, right.
the
Wow.
cassette with Biggie on one side and Craig
Right,
Mack
and
on the
Craig
other
on the
side.
other side. Yes. I
Yep,
actually
and it was
got
like
hey,
the
that.
Big
I actually
Mac.
got that CD.
Yep,
hey,
it was the
I,
Big Mac.
I wish y'all could see what TikTok got going on right now, because TikTok keep on talking about Diddy that got out, talking about I look like Diddy.
Hey, and the crazy, hey, and the crazy part about all this, I'm like you, Val, and Val. You gonna in zone. You gonna love this one. I'm a Pimp C guy. So when I went down south deep and Pimp C with UGK
Yeah.
before rest in peace, when Pimp C kind of opened that market up, because I always loved Scarface, and we was on the yard. Scarface came in Chicago in 1989, 1988, 89, sang at this popular place we had in Chicago called Poplar Creek. It was north of the city of Chicago, and his face came in, him and their boys. And at that time, you can drop one beat and everybody get on the floor and I'm gonna drop it. boom, 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 boom,
Mind
and
playing
clear the
tricks on
flow.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when he dropped
Yeah.
that, and Pimp C came out with murder, right? With murder, that was a wrap, man. And it was just crazy that we lost him at an early age with everything that was going on. But Tiz, when you were looking at the situation with Biggie and the Craig Mack situation, because we saw how that kind of played out based on the court situation came right now with Diddy and all that. What was probably one of the favorite artists back in the day that you were working with as a young producer that you really enjoyed working with, and why?
As a young producer, I would say it's a toss-up between Twista and on the R&B side, Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat? Yeah, I wanna cry and make it outside in the rain.
Okay.
The Keith Sweat, situation, because that's who I got my first record deal with. Was Keith Sweat. I was signed to his label, but I learned a lot, working with him on like song structure and different techniques of like doing vocals. And he started to tell me like, oh, Teddy Riley used to do my vocals like this. I did that, and I started taking all of these notes and putting all of that stuff together, and it helped kind of shape my sound, just collecting all of the the knowledge and putting it together, and then putting my own flavor into it.
Val, we got a superstar here, Val.
Hey, Tiz, tell them about your Tiz. Tell them about your song in the Drinking Juice in the Hood, man.
Oh yeah.
Drinking Juice in the Hood. What's the name of that song?
Don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace to society while you drinking juice in the hood.
Yeah, the song with them on the
wait. Let me hear him. What happened?
The Backyard Scene is a record that I wrote and produced with. I wrote it, and my little brother performed it. He was the one rapping, and it's actually in the movie and on the soundtrack, because the soundtrack was done on our label, Island Black Music, when I was signed to Island Records. Yep.
You were wait. You were Island Black Music back in the day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was the nerd that would read the notes in the record and stuff like that.
I was signed to Island, and my first single came out. My first single called "Gonna Let You Know" actually featured Keith Sweat on the song, and I had the #2 most added record in the country behind Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And I went on to perform that song on Soul Train.
Come on.
You performed it on Soul Train?
Yep.
Hey, for y'all youngsters listening tonight, Soul Train don't exist no more. And this brother was on Soul Train.
I was on Soul Train. I was on Teen Summit with Ananda.
Teen Summit, there you go.
Rest in peace, Ananda. Yep.
Rest in peace, Ananda, man. I can't believe she passed away.
Yep.
So I just need to do something real quick. So is this you?
That is me. That is me rapping. I wrote and produced every part of that song. My vocals, I wrote my little brother's part, and I wrote Keith Sweat's part.
Wow.
Okay, and the person that's singing right there, that's who?
That's me. Right there.
And how I do the things I do. Mic check 1, 2. Peace to all the homies in the crew. Cause I can't let you know how we kick it, break it on down. Here comes the niggas out of Chi-Town. Releasing chaos, bringing nothing but the funk. Cause we got them bumping it bumps for your back trunk. So won't you hump and bounce? Relax your mind and let my lyrics get you drunk like a 40 amp. Yeah.
Y'all want to reach the top. Yeah.
Gonna let you know that it'll keep you getting high. Baby, you know the album like that in no smoke. We gonna let you know that it'll seems like you're ready for another expedition. Look, bud, swinging like Sonny, listen.
Now, who's that rapper?
That's Lil Bud, my little brother.
That's your little brother?
Cause BUD has no time for all that chit chat. Deadly venom is what I spit when my tongue is flicking to zones. Giving up the funk like George. I came to bring the pain like the meth. So you best to recognize or prepare for your death. In 96, I'm making platinum hits with a fast click hitting tricks. So, fellas, here's the hit, cause the girlies is free. But my album called Sloop. The reason I wrote the Lexus Coupe. Now, your non-believers must be hung from a rope. The best thing to do is to surrender like that flow.
You know the albums like that in those modes. We gonna let you know that it'll keep you getting high. You know the albums like that in those modes. We gonna let you know that it'll keep you getting high.
Now you don't see what we see. Sucking MCs trying to contest me, but bang, I'ma set it off like I wanna. Cause me and Lil Buzz blowing up like Oklahoma. So jump if you wanna, baby, y'all get wicked. Unleash the digits so I can show you how I kick it. I be notorious like Biggie. Holla if you hit me. Hey yo, honeys, are you with me? I'm dropping mad skills on the real. Forming illusions just like Copperfield. Stop dropping Neil to the Red Imperial. Lyrical, individual. Play the drama for later. Somebody's hitting me on my page. But I ain't gon' call them back, best believe it. Cause I ain't got time for them groupies and elitists. Now why must I feel like that? Cause ain't no other shorty on earth like me kicking rough rap.
You know the albums like that in those modes. We gonna let you know that it'll keep you getting high. You know the albums like that in those modes. We gonna let you know that it'll keep you getting high. You know the albums like that in those modes.
Okay, I'm blown away right now. I'm blown away right now.
Way outside of Keith Sweat's thing. Put him in a box, and you guys drop it. All that. I mean, that is just off the rip, just dope. I mean, that is. What's up, boy? I see you up past your bedtime.
Hey. Daddy by himself, so you know Daddy got to do what Daddy got to do.
What's up, man? Hey, man, you already up. Hey, but you know, the cool part about that is, you know, Tiz, you got an opportunity to work with these artists, man, and put on some things, man. I'm just proud of you, brother, man, you know, because, you know, a lot of time when we come through the Chi, at the times we do, you know, the situation is very difficult. We don't get a chance to get out. And you not only got out, but you got out and had the opportunity to move forward. And, man, I'm just appreciate you, man, that stuff that you've been able to do and things you've been able to put on and people you've been able to work with. Man, just keep doing your thing, man. We're just going to continue to give you the platform and all that. And again, this is why I told Val, with my mans and them, I already got the lyrics already completed. I'm going to be with you. I told Val already, I got a crew behind me, and this is going to be a banger house track, period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for, you know, having me on this platform. You know, anything I could do to, you know, push it forward, you know, I'm there, you know.
Yeah, and I have to just say I'm a little blown away because, you know, I work with this person and it's no big deal. And I'm just kind of like, you work with who? Because I can go to my CD collection and pull out the Keith Sweat and pull out the Tupac Shakur or pull out the Mary J. Blige, all of her CDs. Like it's bananas to me. But you know, I think the sound advice that you gave to Zone, and then of course just that protection of family, Coach and Demetrius, that just is something that we just need to be doing in any business that we decide to go into. And I'm just grateful as we celebrate hip hop for Black Music Month. My major takeaway from this conversation is know the business, know what you're signing. Don't sign just anything, and make sure that you have people you can trust around you before you make any major decision. Would you agree with that, Dimitri? Would you agree with that, T-Zone?
I totally
Yes,
do.
indeed.
Hey, you know
Yes,
what?
indeed.
I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my aunt right there. But
See?
like I said, God gonna take you through your trials and tribulations. But if you listen to him, he'll show you your way out of your troubles. So,
He's never gonna put too much on your plate that you cannot handle.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. You just got to be obedient and follow.
There you go, Tiz.
The
You
right
gotta
way.
be
That's the
obedient.
key. Because a lot of people can get the information, but they're not obedient enough to
There
follow
you
it
go.
the way it's supposed to be followed.
There you go.
So that's the key. You got to be obedient, be humble, and learn that path. The path is laid out for you. You just got to walk it.
Yep. And trust God. Yeah, you got to trust him.
Yep.
They
That's the
dropping
key.
1,000% nuggets in here, Val.
Yeah.
Hey, my feet is hot right now. Nuggets, so hey, hot. Hey,
All right.
the good thing about it, before we close out here for both of you guys, Dimitri, if you can let the people listening, one, know how to get in touch, where they can pull your information up, follow you, and check you out, because we talk music tonight, but these people don't realize that you're getting some big things. Black Panther, some other stuff that's going on. And then Tiz, let them know exactly how they can catch some of your music as well. So, Dimitri, go ahead and start off.
All right. So when it comes to the acting and the voice acting, you can find me at Demetrius Jarman. I go and spell the name Demetrius, last name Jarman, Jarmon. I follow up under that name when it comes to any voice acting and film work, anything that's film related. And then as far as the music side goes, I go up under the name Farrah the Prince, which is FARRARDAPRINCE. And you can find the music on Tidal. You can find it on Apple Music. You can find it on Spotify, Pandora. So pretty much any mainstream platform, you can find the music. And my social media, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, I'm on Twitter, all of that. Just either type in Demetrius Jarman or you can look up Farrah the Prince. Either way it go, you'll find this pretty smile right here. I'm ready for my Grammy.
Got you. Tiz, what about you, baby? What about you? Drop some knowledge on Tiz.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much everywhere. You can find, just type in Hitlanders, HITLANDERS, and I'm gonna pop up everywhere. So my main site where I sell production and beats is hitlanders.com, and my DJ site is djtzone.com. So from there, you'll find all of my links to all my social media, everything.
That's why I like him, Val, because he still got his hand on the wax. I'm still Tiz, I'm still hitting with that I'm still hitting with that vinyl, man. I'm on that vinyl, baby.
Yeah. I'm rocking with my Rain 12s right now, so
okay. I got that.
Like my vinyl.
I got that. I got some Pioneer 1200s, baby. I got them Pioneer 1200s.
The wheels are still. For the people that don't know.
The people that don't know, and we're talking that Chicago language right now because they don't know, because it's a Chicago, New York battle from back in the day, but we still battling, man, but it's all great, it is. I'm just glad that I had an opportunity to talk to Val, and we were going back and forth on Music Month, and I said, Val, we got to get my nephew. He's doing some big things, but last time we never got a chance to get Tiz on stage. And Ken P. Unfortunately, Ken wasn't able to get it, but I said, we got to get him because Tiz got a story and he got them Chicago ties. I want to get this boy here. And man, it was just great to hear the things that you talked about. I mean, these are just people that you've been working with, that people idolize, man, that people wish they met, that people wish they knew, but they planned their cuts. And you had an opportunity to sit in the studios and whine and ask Keith Sweat, you had a chance to make a cut. And we already know what he did. Oh, he was whining, Val.
You don't have to diss the poor child.
There we go. And there we go. Here we go. Hey, come on.
We're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. We're wrapping up the show. So thank you so very much, Chazone. And Farrah the Prince, come back anytime to discuss music. We appreciate you.
The next time,
y'all
we
left
have
out
you.
that. Y'all left out
the
that.
next time, the next time that I'm gonna have you guys on, Val, I'm telling you right now, me and Tiz and nephew about to get in the studio, and it's going to be to produce my man's and them house track. We're going to feature the house track on the show one night because I'm about to get with these boys. We about to make this house track that I already got everything laid out. We about to bring this to life.
Let's do it.
Yep,
I'm all
ready.
for it.
Well, you heard them. You heard them. Guys, thank you so very much for joining us on Interlude Section Presents Talk on Tuesday as we celebrate Black Music Month. You guys, happy Juneteenth to you both.
Happy Juneteenth. And don't go nowhere. When we get out the show, y'all sit up. We're going to talk backstage for a minute, so don't go nowhere.
All right.
As we said a little bit earlier, go ahead and subscribe to or follow Coach Tony with the Pullup Podcast Show, which is every Monday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, a DJ Saved My Life. The real book is here. It is my journey. Yeah,
I gotta get that.
Available. I'm so happy. I was the DJ that saved my life. Woohoo! And that's available on purelightHousemedia.com. And of course, patreon.com. It is Interlude Section Presents Find Your Voice. What do we do there? We have the background videos. And of course, my conversations with Coach Tony after the shows. And then the Purple Robe Diaries. I don't know why Coach was making fun of my purple robe, but I just have a good time. It is a good time. So go join us on that. And of course, guys, we're going to ask you all to put your fingers up to do the peace sign. We're out of here.
Hey, man. Like we said back in the day,
Peace.